Hi, my name is Christelle and this is Untethered Love. Welcome to my channel. Happy new moon and happy birthday to all my Cancers. I hope you are enjoying this energy. It is quite intense right now. So we'll be discussing a little bit about what's going on with these energies and how they will be affecting us. But also I have kind of a message to share that one applies to this new moon, but we can also take with us going forward. And I'll break these down. I'll put them into like sections and timestamp below. And then in the end, I might pull some oracle cards if this video isn't too winded. And yeah, let's just get into the astrology first. I've got my iPad here, so let me just pull up the chart. So the new moon is when the sun and moon are together in the same sign at the same degree. It is the dark moon. And this is the period of time that typically people plant seeds to grow their manifestations. As we go through the moon cycles, when we have say if you were to want to manifest under this Cancer new moon, you would see during the Cancer full moon, during Capricorn season, what came to fruition. And this is a very interesting new moon. One that I wouldn't typically use for manifestation, only because of the aspects that are going on. So this new moon is opposing Pluto. Pluto, for those who don't know, has a lot to do with power structures, power dynamics. It is very Scorpio-like energy. It has a lot to do with things that we find taboo, that we don't necessarily want to look at or are uncomfortable with. And this can be sexual energy, violence, the blood and guts, the literal shit of life. Which all of these things are so important to our human experience. But it can be very difficult to confront these things, and people can use these things to manipulate and put power over others. And this opposition is happening in the signs of Cancer and Capricorn, which Cancer has to do with our roots, our ancestry, things that run deep within us, within our DNA, within our bloodlines, while Capricorn has a lot to do with long-standing structures, foundations that have been built over the span of many, many years, many generations. And we can see this opposition happening, particularly with this Pluto and Capricorn, which has one personally been whooping my ass. I have a lot of cardinal energy. But we, as our society, we have been seeing a lot of pushback against these long-standing structures within our society, whether that be the pay gap, racism, just the way our government is set up. There are a lot of people who are fighting against their governments right now. Us, France, I know that I'm Haitian, so there are a lot of people fighting in Haiti, and Haiti has a lot of Saturn Capricorn energy. We have a lot of strikes going on right now, so UPS is striking, the writers and actors are striking right now. So there are a lot of people who are fighting against the man, you know, against Big Brother. There is this energy about it. Pluto, that power dynamic and these long-standing structures, and things that we have had to fight for generations. As being a Black woman who comes from two immigrant parents, I've had to fight a lot in this life, and a lot of you may resonate whether or not you identify the way I identify. But all of us have felt this suppression of our growth, of our individuality, of our self-expression, of our truest, most authentic self. And it can no longer be this way. And I think we're going to really see a lot of changes as when Pluto eventually heads into Aquarius and stops retrograding in Capricorn. With that being said, we can be feeling like we're undergoing a lot of oppression, and feeling like our vitality and our self-expression, our uniqueness, our sun, as well as our moon, our emotions, what we need to nurture ourselves, what we need to create security and stability for ourselves, is being crushed and suppressed by these structures that we didn't necessarily build, but we inherited. So there's that going on. And at the same time, we have the North Node, which just entered Aries, is also squaring this new moon. And this square, in addition to, well, I'll talk about that a little bit later. This square, the North Node has this energy of non-stop consumption. It can be very, very obsessive. Same thing with Pluto. There's a lot of obsessive energy within this chart. So to have that square, that tension in Aries, like Aries and Cancer, we can feel like we want to make certain moves and want to do certain things, but it's stuck. And this feeling of stuckness is reiterated with Saturn and Mars. So Mars, the planet of our action, the planet of our ego, how we like to attack something, how we like to pursue things, is squaring, I believe, what sign is it in? It's in Virgo, is squaring Saturn in Pisces. And having Mars, the planet of direction, of action, of our ferocity, being squared by Saturn, this planet of restriction, of boundaries, of karma, can feel you feel stuck. You can really feel stuck in certain areas in your life. Like you have, and particularly because, one, we're dealing with Pluto and Capricorn, and then we have Saturn. These two planets move very slowly. These two planets have a lot to do with things that crystallize over time very slowly. So you may feel like you have been trying, there are certain obstacles in your life that you have been trying to tackle, have been trying to overcome, and it's blocked. Even if whether it is an internal block, you haven't found the energy or the drive to do the thing, or it is external, the ops are out here, there are external forces that seem to thwart your energy. You're going to be feeling it particularly today because of all of this Cancerian energy. It's going to really rile up and kick up that energy. In addition to that, we also have Mercury square Jupiter. Now, Mercury is the mind. It is the way we think, the way we rationalize things, the intellect, the way we speak, the way we articulate ourselves. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It is the planet of kind of experiences that we have, this adventurous, experiential energy that eventually endows us with wisdom. And also has a lot to do with our learning and expanding, getting into the higher mind. So to have these two planets squaring one another, you may feel like you have all these new ideas of how to tackle these long-standing obstacles. You may feel some sort of inspiration, and also you may be receiving a lot of information that some may be valid and some you have to be discerning about. But this feeling of stuckness, so you have all this knowledge, all this information, receiving all of these things, all this inspiration and ideas, but you're still stuck. You're still not being able to move. Things are constantly thwarting your will. I want you, if you want to take my advice, to sit still and go sit on some grass. Go to the park, sit on some grass. Go swimming, go into the water. Water would be really good right now. Or taking a long bath, and really center yourself. And as you center yourself, try to muster up the emotion, the feeling within your heart, within your mind, within your body, of what it would feel like to overcome these long-standing obstacles, to overcome the mental blockages, to overcome the financial struggles, to overcome the relational struggles, what it would feel like to find the one, what it would feel like to purchase your dream home, what it would feel like to be in the career that feels so amazing that it doesn't feel like work. Get into your emotional bag. And in getting into this energy and feeling it within every fiber of your being, you allow it to magnetize towards you. This is not a new moon, I don't think, to be working to try to manifest something. It is more about kind of residing in that feminine energy and allowing your energy to resonate to the things that you want to attract. There will be other transits where you can do your spells and all of that. There will be other transits where you will have the energy to put in that grind and that work. But right now, get comfortable with what it would feel like to be living your best life. And oftentimes, I know for me, there are a lot of things that I want in this life, but when I really get into that energy, sometimes it scares me and it brings anxiety. And it's almost as if I were to have those things, will they be taken away from me? Pluto. Will I be able to maintain these things? Am I responsible enough? Do I have enough energy? Do I have enough mental capacity to maintain, to attract and maintain and grow the things that I want? And Chiron is also going to be making a trine later on this week, the wounded healer. And I think that is going to really help us to overcome these fears. And I want to say also, another thing that will help us overcome these fears, we have Neptune in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus. So Neptune is going to be making a trine to this new moon, and Uranus is going to be making a sextile. So again, these ideas, this spark with Uranus, like this aha moment, like, oh, this is the way I'm gonna do this thing. This is how I'm gonna get over this obstacle. And Neptune, this all-encompassing, boundless, unconditional love, spiritual energy, this dream, like this creative energy, is going to allow you to dream up of this fantasy life that you want, of your dream life. Okay, so part 2 of this is kind of the messaging that I've been receiving over the past few days. There is a reader here, Bahati Life. You guys might know, she has a huge platform. And she released a reading the other day just about the collective really being a lot easier on themselves and to not put so much pressure on themselves. And how, especially if you're an intuitive person, you know, when you make certain choices and you go against your intuition, you can find yourself really beating up on yourself. Like, why didn't I listen? Why didn't I do the thing? I knew, yet I directed my will towards something else. And now I'm kind of asked out. And I know for me, that really resonates. Particularly over the past couple of years, there's certain things that I've done that I know I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway because I'm a willful Aries. So, but within that, I've had to find compassion for myself. And with these energies we have going on, particularly like the oppositions and the squares, it can be very easy for you to inflict cruelty on yourself. And in turn, also, if that's not your jam, I know for me, my inner critic is, but there, some of us also can direct that energy externally and feel like it's your fault that I'm here. It's this person's fault, and pointing the blame at everyone, pointing the blame at ourselves. And it's not about blame. It's about finding compassion. It's about discovering the wisdom without these experiences. I know for me in particular, without the experiences that I've had over the last couple of years, I would not be able to trust myself as much as I do. I would not be able to love myself as much as I do. I would not be able to have as much compassion and be at this point of non-judgment for myself and others if I had not gone through the mud, if I had not been willful, if I had not been doing things I know I wasn't supposed to. So yeah. Okay, so part 2. I kind of want to share this message that I have received over the past few days. And kind of the crux of the message is to embrace the swamps of life. Embrace the periods of life that feel like swamplands. Swamps are in this beautiful in-between. So they're not on the dry land, and it's not the ocean. It's this space in between where the earth and water meet. And it gets real muddy. Capricorn, earth, Cancer, water. And it gets muddy. And when we think of the word swamp, nobody thinks that's cute. We think of Shrek. It's not beautiful, considered beautiful. It's not considered land where you can grow food or vegetation. It's often considered land that's not favorable. And although these marshes, this swamp, is not considered favorable, it is quite beautiful. All of the mud, the overgrown, we think of papyrus and all of these different plants that grow, all these amphibians, there's like an aquatic ecosystem. There are birds and land animals that come here as well. Beautiful lilies that sprout in their lily pads. All types of insects. This is a all-encompassing, a fully functioning ecosystem. And there is such beauty in that. And what's really great about the marshlands is that it also, in and of itself, it moves with the tides. So when the tides of the ocean come in, the water rises, can be like 8 feet tall. And then when the tides come out, it goes all the way barren, and there's almost no water there. And that's like life, where the tides come in and you're feeling overwhelmed, all this emotion, all this water, all this Cancerian moon energy, and then it fades away and it gets dry again. But it's in that mud. A lot of us can be in that muddy place sometimes, and we don't want to be there. There are mosquitoes, it's gross, it's sticky, it's hot, it's wet, muddy, but there's something to learn there. Life can grow there, although it's not ideal like farmland, you know, and you can't play in it like you can in the water, in the ocean, and have your fun on the beach. It is an ecosystem, and there are things that grow here, and there are lessons to be learned here and embraced here. So with this Pluto, this Capricorn Cancer energy, this mud, this feeling stuck in the mud energy, embrace it right now. And I know it can be very difficult. Believe me, if I were to tell you just how my life has been in the past my whole life has been, I'm a Saturnian babe, so I know a thing or two about being stuck or feeling thwarted. It can be very uncomfortable, but it's sitting within the discomfort that we can make peace, that we can, if we can find just a semblance of stillness, to hear the still quiet voice within us that connects us to everything, is where we can learn our deepest, the lessons that are really hold their weight in gold. It also helps you to appreciate, when you leave this space, to appreciate the blessings that you receive later on. And that's what I've been doing lately. Honestly, I've been moving myself to tears, thinking about how beautiful my life will be, how beautiful my life is, but also how beautiful my life will be. And I've been using music a lot to do that. So if you can find some uplifting music to really get you into that space of gratitude, or that space of feeling like you that girl, please do so. It'll, get into that emotional space. And if you can't quite bring yourself there, that's okay. You can sit in the mud for a little while. I've had to sit in the mud. And that's a part of the journey, because we can't not acknowledge it. It will cause dissonance if we don't acknowledge the things that feel uncomfortable, the things that feel painful, the things that feel sorrowful. Acknowledge those things, feel those things, but don't stay there. So that's kind of the message. And I'll wait for. Okay, so I pulled some oracle cards as well to wrap this up. We have darkness, we have faith, and we have the unexpected. This card in particular is one of my favorites. Like I said, you can feel like you're in this period of either a dark night of the soul, or things are just not working out, you're feeling in this low, muddy place. But it's here where the seeds are planted. You don't plant seeds in the sunlight, you plant them in the ground, in the dirt, in the darkness. There has to be a period of darkness in order for your seeds to sprout. And so maintaining your faith in this dark space, getting into that feeling. Look how peaceful she looks, holding her pregnant belly, holding her chest, which is very Cancerian. The breast, it's what nurtures, what feeds a child, what feeds your creation. Hold what feeds your creations, what can feed your creations. Hold your manifestations dearly to yourself. Get into the feeling. Imagine what it would feel like to have your dreams come true. Because the unexpected can happen at any given time. Like a strike of lightning. Whether it be an idea, an inspiration, a good deed, a promotion. There are infinite possibilities of how your life can change. And just remember that and hold space for that. And if you hold space for the infiniteness, you might just be able to have space to receive. Yeah. I also pulled some, I love these cards, these crystal cards. So we have pyrite, green aventurine, and spessartine garnet. I don't know if I said that right. I will read the messages from these. Green aventurine, luck, good fortune, potential, possibility, new opportunities. Possibilities for experiencing your possibilities for experiences your soul craves are everywhere, offering new opportunities to help you find your purpose. The gate to the field of infinite potential is always open. For the conscious universe wants you to enjoy the bounty that exists in the realm of possibility and bring it into form through the power of co-creation. Cast fears and regrets aside, said Green Aventurine Spirit, for you are much loved, and the conscious universe wants to give you all that you desire. The universe is always dreaming up of new ways to bring you what you need and help you experience well-being, joy, and fulfillment. Then we have the pyrite. Inherent value, knowing your wealth, knowing your worth, self-appreciation, genuine abundance and prosperity within. Throughout the ages, humans have sought the gems of the earth, the crystals whose beauty delighted the eye and whose power could aid them in their quest to achieve a sense of safety and abundance. They recognize the intrinsic value of these gifts from nature, and when Pyrite Spirit appears, you are meant to appreciate the abundance that the conscious universe has provided. An abundance of opportunities, resources, support, and most importantly, love. Scarcity mentality will prevent you from seeking all that is available to you. You are called now to offer thanks to the myriad of gifts that have been given to help you achieve balance. As you take your healing journey, you will find it easier and easier to recognize that you will always have what you need. Abundance awaits as you ready yourself to claim it. The conscious universe has your back. What you need will not be denied you at this time. So open yourself to receiving it by practicing appreciation. And lastly, we have garnet. Charm, charisma, shining and sparkling, being a brilliant beacon of confidence that inspires others. Every one of us is a being of light, meant to shine and sparkle. Your light draws others to you, for we all seek the light. The message of Sepsartine Garnet Spirit is to embrace your natural charm and magnetism. Do you know that you are not, do you know, sorry. Do you think you're not all that special? If so, that is only because you haven't discovered your natural charisma and expressed it. The conscious universe wants you to let it shine out, for your dazzling brilliance will be a beacon for others as you walk the healing path toward discovering your destiny. You can attract those who will help you and those who will benefit from all that you have to share, your talents, your love, your joy. We are also lucky to have you here on this planet right now. Feel your magnetism today. Express it. Shine your light in all your glory, inspiring others, and let yourself draw in whatever will help you on your journey. Okay, lovelies. I hope this message resonates with you and sits with you and helps you during this time. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy this new moon. And I love you.